Right, boys and girls, we got week 3 of the Circa $1 Million contest. Last week we went 2-3, so we are 5-5 on the season, right at 500. So we got to get some momentum going and start making our run to get to about 61 points. That's the goal on the season. So we're 5-5. We did lose last week on the Survivor. We had the Eagles. Last minute they lost. Their defense looked like crap. But we're going to continue the Survivor entry. We'll see how we did. We're going to continue on and see how we do. So without further ado, we're going to start off with NFL Week 3. Here we go, boys and girls. Aquí vamos, chicos y chicas. Let's go. All right. Game 1. We got the New York Giants at the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are a 6.5-point favorite. We're taking the Browns here at 6.5. I like the Browns to have a big game at home. I like Deshaun Watson to break out. The Giants are just a really bad team, so just no love for the Giants, and I think the Browns have a good game, and we're taking the Browns minus 6.5. All right, game 2. We got the Philadelphia Eagles at the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are a 3-point favorite. Eagles, they blew the game last week, as I stated, to Atlanta. Their defense looks like complete crap, and they're missing wide receiver A.J. Brown. I think that's just a huge deal. That's a huge deal. You lose your number one receiver, and it's a domino effect across the board. And so the Eagles are going to struggle. And then the Saints are just on fire. I mean, look, the Saints are on fire offensively, 91 points through 2 weeks. Defense looks pretty good as well, held Dallas to 19 at home. And so I like the Saints to continue, especially at -3. I'm taking the Saints -3. All right, game 3 on the docket. We got the San Francisco 49ers at the Los Angeles Rams. The Niners are a 7-point favorite. Look, the Niners, they're coming off a loss to Minnesota in Minnesota. They're on the road again, but it's probably a home game at SoFi. They're out without Christian McCaffrey. George Kittle might not play as well. And look, the Niners, I think Brock Purdy is going to start struggling, especially without, just being able to hand it off and dump it off to McCaffrey. The Rams, they're missing, 2 of their best players as well. Puka's out. Cooper Kupp is injured. We don't know if he's going to play or not. But they're at home. I think they put up a fight here. I don't trust the Niners and Brock Purdy. And so I'm taking the Rams +7 here. Game 4, we got possibly the best game of the week. We got Baltimore Ravens traveling to Dallas. Currently, Baltimore's a 1-point favorite here. Baltimore 0-2, and they're coming off a loss. They blew the game to the Raiders last week in Vegas. They played well, but then they just blew it in the second half. And I've been saying this all season. I don't trust Lamar. Sometimes this guy looks great and he looks like the MVP, but sometimes he just doesn't. I don't know. I just don't know what's going on. They're a funny team. Their defense is not as good as it was last year. And then Dallas, they got blown out by the Saints. I think it's a combination of the Saints actually being pretty good, along with Dallas not being that good. And also the big thing is Dallas doesn't have a run game. They got, Zeke as their main back, and Zeke was already struggling last year with the Patriots. They brought him back, so he's familiar, but they don't got a good run game. And outside of CeeDee Lamb, who do they got? Who are their weapons? I know you want to say the tight end Ferguson, but come on. Look. And Dak, once again, very inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get from Dak. But they're at home. I think that's a bigger deal. And if I'm going to take somebody in this game at home based on all the circumstances, I like Dallas to rebound here, and Dallas at +1. +1 doesn't really matter. It's just who you think is going to win. And so I'm rolling with Dallas +1. All right, game 5. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills 5.5-point favorites. The Jaguars, look, I think they're a pretty good team. Once again, it all goes down to Lawrence. I think their run game has started off slow with um, ETN, and so I think he's going to play better. And I think Jaguars have a solid team, but if they want to be a good team, it all goes down to Lawrence. And then Bills, I think the Bills are a little bit overhyped, honestly. Look, they almost lost to Arizona. Then they got a win versus Miami where Tua threw 3 picks and then got injured. So, look, I think Bills are a better team than everybody expected, but I'm not buying Buffalo that much where it's like, oh, they're a 5.5 point favorite here. I think Jacksonville keeps this interesting, maybe even wins this game. And so I think 5.5 is way too much here. I think this line should be 3.5 Buffalo. And so I'm taking Jacksonville plus 5.5. All right. That's the 5 picks for the $1 million contest. Now we're moving on to the Survivor. Week 1, we had Seattle Seahawks. They won. Week 2, we had the Eagles. They lost to Atlanta. Week 3, we're going with the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Commanders. I like Cincinnati to start getting on a roll. Jamar Chase has not played well in the first 2 weeks. I think he has a better game. They're at home, so that helps as well. Rookie QB Jaden Daniels, look, he played last week. They won, but they played the Giants, and the Giants are going to be horrible this year. And so I like the Bengals here. I think this is a good Survivor pick. I'm rolling with the Bengals for the Survivor pick in Week 3. And so hopefully it should be a good slate of games, a good week, and hopefully we get some momentum. We want to pick up a 4-1 or 5-0 week, and then just build some momentum and make a run at that 61, 62 points on the season. All right, boys and girls, until next week.